right, no. I don't think he understood. Right. From the mailbox to the street.
Hold on a second. We're at 5209 Tampa Avenue in Tarzana, California, performing a video sewer inspection from the north side cleanout by the laundry. And this side is very root intruded. This is compacted with roots in here. As you can see, that joint, we're going to go out just a little bit more. We're starting to hit water. We can't get through this next joint at all. I'm sorry, maybe we can. Get through that joint. That's the next joint after this, I believe. I pulled back a little bit when we were talking. Now we're going out again. And this next joint is just compacted. That joint is compacted with roots. I am able to get through that one. I don't recall how far we ran out. Let's see how far we get out here. Okay, we did get out into the other line. I was able to push through. So right now, we are in the main run coming from the south side of the house.
Are you talking to me or to the video? To the
Video.
tape?
Oh. we are in the clean out, and this is our transition right now, where we're coming back, and there's roots, a lot of roots, right in that joint. That's the transition going to the other run.
Yeah, I mean the one from the half bath is clogged.
And then you can see the roots are just coming down on top of the camera, plus all the sludge. It's going to be hard to see now because I got so much sludge on the camera lens. Pulling back, you see roots in the joints right in front of us. We're coming back, more roots in this joint. This line has got roots on almost every single joint. A lot of roots in that joint. Heavy roots in the next joint, and that's really offset. You can see the whole face of the pipe at the top where it's just shifted and completely separated and offset. And then we have a lot more roots coming in the next joint. And then we have a lot of roots coming in the next joint. And there's a little bit of roots in that joint. And we have a lot of roots in this joint. Pretty heavy. We're pulling some roots back, even in debris. And then the next joint is extremely heavy. About 80 to 90% restricted right there, pulling through. See the roots just coming down and collapsing around the camera. And now we're stopped up right here, where it's just holding back the water. So we're going to run. We're going to run a snake to open this up.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but. Right.
And that concludes the video sewer inspection on this side of the house. We're just going to run through the other side to mark out the 4 to 6 inch transition. Equipment now. Yeah. Hank wants to talk to me? Yeah. Yeah, Hank. I'd have to charge for the snaking, whatever I do if you're going to put it off. And then what I could do is I'd be willing to give you that back for putting the line in if you decide to after. Would that work out? This way you have time to decide. I don't want to... Yeah. No, I know it is. You mean the last... You're talking about the last 30 feet. You got 30 feet going from the driveway apron to the city sewer. Yeah, it's a 30-foot lateral. That's a 6-inch, yeah. And you'll see, I'm going to run it right now. I'm going to run the camera again, because I've got to mark out the 4 to 6 just so you know where it is. And then you'll see that footage on the camera, too, when I drop into the city sewer. Standard lateral is 30 feet, especially on Tampa. I've done a bunch of them on here, up on Tampa. Yeah. Well, it's just that if you do it later. See, the thing is, it's not even so much as all the roots. You have minimal roots in the 6-inch right now, but the joints are shifting. You're seeing offsets in the joints, and what happens is those are the hubs that are breaking, where the pipe goes into a bell shape, and then concrete's packed around. So when those start to crack and break, they start to shift. And when they start to shift, they're going to keep shifting. Nothing's going to stop them. We get little bitty earth movements, they're going to shift more. So with the sleeve in there with the liner, that stops them and prevents them from shifting and prevents roots from getting in. So it's... more than likely maybe 2 days at the most, but you'd have use of the facilities every night. Yeah, no matter what. No. Me too. Okay, you want to come in? Okay. we are running through the mainline cleanout on the south end of the house, where I would presume the master bath is on this side. We're in the bushes over here. There's a 4-inch clean out, and see the mailbox out by the front driveway apron. So we're gonna just take a look at this line. We're also gonna mark out the 4 to 6 inch transition. And right here, where all these roots are, and then we have a big offset, that's where the transition is coming in from the powder room, from where the laundry is. That's why we couldn't see it before. We had to kind of jump over it. And now we know where it's at. It's marked out. A lot easier to try and locate. You got an offset in this joint as well, a minor root intrusion in there. It'd probably be easier to see coming back because we got some debris and film on the camera lens trying to go in, but we'll wash it off in the city sewer. There's some roots in that joint and a little bit of offset. That joint doesn't look too bad. It's kind of hard to see it because of the film. It'd be easier to see on the way back. We'll just run all the way out and then we'll mark it. We've got some root intrusion, minor and offset from that joint. A little bit of roots. Kind of hard to see small imperfections until the camera's rinsed off. And the roots there. A little bit of an offset right there. Minor roots. Some more roots to the right. More roots there. More roots. We're at about 110 feet, I believe, when we were in the city sewer. Let's run right out into the city sewer. And there we drop in. We got the water running in the city sewer. We'll rinse the camera lens off. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Now we're going to pull back. And you'll be able to see the condition of the 6-inch again. Now we're pulling back up into the 6-inch lateral. We're in the city sewer now. So right here, this joint is the city sewer saddle tie-in, which is the 6-inch tie-in. Got a little bit of an offset there. You can see it's holding debris back down at the bottom of the line. There's a good sized separation there. That's a gap of about 1 inch between the two joints. You can see it right there a little bit better at about the 1 o'clock area. You see the big gap between it. They're separating. It just pulls apart. Then we come back to the next joint. Next joint looks pretty good, fairly flush, a little tiny bit of an offset, but not bad at all. Next joint looked pretty good, pretty flush. And this is the 6-inch lateral. And that joint looks good. That's a nice tight joint. That joint's nice and tight. Most of the joints in the 6-inch look pretty good. That joint's got a pretty good offset to it. It's separated and there's an offset, and you can see root intrusion growth up toward the top left side at about 8, 9 o'clock area. It's more that it's offset, it's shifting quite a bit. That joint's just got a little tiny bit of root intrusion, and it's got some separation to it down at the bottom, but not bad. It should be probably right around 80 feet is where the lateral should transition to the 4-inch. Some heavier root intrusion here, and it's shifting pretty good. You can see the face of the pipe off to the left, where that's just shifted. You got root intrusion on both sides. And then we got a little heavier root intrusion on this left side here, and a separation. You got fairly good separation in between that. Got about 1 inch as well.
Are we in the 4-inch now?
No.
No.
You'll see it. We should be coming up to it in just a second. And now we're coming up. This joint's offset just a tiny, tiny bit. Not bad. You see where we drop down into it. You can see the camera. I'm pulling back and I come up, and when I go down into it, see the camera drop. So it's just an offset right there. Just a minor offset. Not too bad. You got some root intrusion. Now we're coming back up, and right here, this is on the 4-inch. You can see the 4-inch here is smaller, and then we drop down into the 6-inch. You can see where it's just larger pipe. But we're going to mark out this 4-inch real quick, and we got root intrusion in the 4 to 6-inch joint. So we got to know where this is, because this is the area that would have to be excavated. So we're going to mark that out real quick. Okay, we're at the 4 to 6 inch transition, and we're going to pull back now to the clean out on the south side of the house. So we have root intrusions in that one joint at the 4 to 6, right here at an offset, and minor roots there. More roots here and an offset here at the next joint. Minor roots and minor offset there at that joint. Minor roots here as well. Just roots in a lot of joints. Little minor offsets, minor separations. There's a minor offset, little tiny bit of roots. Again, more roots. Not too bad of an offset there. And minor offset and more roots here. That joint looks good. That joint looks pretty good. Little minor roots at the top. It look pretty good. That joint looks to be pretty good. That joint's got some roots in it, little heavier roots, and little offset there. Making a little bit of a turn. That joint looks good. That joint's offset and has some minor roots in it. Now we're coming back to the heavier roots. Little heavier roots, little offset and separation. Now we have heavier roots here. Little heavier roots and more of an offset there. Large offset right there. That's shifted quite a bit. And heavy roots and a larger offset. You see the whole face of the pipe right there. We're actually hitting up against it right here. And pull back. And roots are pretty heavy right there, especially on the top. Now we're pulling back up out of the cleanout. And that concludes our video sewer inspection.